Hello. How many traffic signs do you know? Is there octagon, pentagon, the circle, the triangle, trapezoid, diamond, and the pennant? Don't forget the rectangle, which is for speed. From this point, Peter given some warnings so that we may be prepared. We're in 2 Peter 2, 1 through 16. The only way to know error is to know the truth. Verse says, "But false prophets arose among the people, just as there will be false teachers among you. These false teachers will infiltrate your midst with destructive heresies, even to the point of denying the master who bought them. As a result, they will bring swift destruction on themselves." False prophets, false teachers, false teaching, heresies is a broad term for anti-Bible teaching, such as the Bible was written by man, not by God. The flood was just a local event, not worldwide. The Israelites crossed the Red Sea in a couple inches of water. And Jesus fainted on the cross, and his disciples brought him around later. Hell is a threatening word, not an actual place. One key filter we need to use is their opinion of Jesus. Jesus is the Son of God. He is the Savior who brought redemption. Do not be standing near them when the lightning strikes. Number 2 says, "And many will follow their debauched lifestyles. And because of these false teachers, the way of truth will be slandered." As we go along, we discover some filters to use to determine the counterfeit. The one here is satisfying the lust of the flesh, especially in sexual actions. Any sexual activity is allowed, even while looking pure to others. And because they use organizational names that have the word church attached, the true church is mixed in and gets caught in the same slander of thought that is great, although there's a great difference. Number 3 says, "And in their greed, they will exploit you with deceptive words. Their condemnation, pronounced long ago, is not sitting idly by. The destruction is not asleep." Another filter is called greed, the thing that causes us to want more than we can afford and that which the other has. They will get dangled this carrot in front of you. Today, we would use the word con or scam. But this person's judgment has already been handed down. The penalty hearing is not too far off. In these next verses, we get some history on past judgments, so we will have an idea what is going to happen. Verse 6 says, "God did not spare the angels who sinned." Verse 7 says, "He did not spare the ancient world." Verse 8 says, "He turned to ashes the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah." 3 different kinds of people, but their sins didn't escape from God's courtroom of judgments. Here is a short list of some of those things that will bring God's wrath. Verses 10 to 16, "There's fleshly desires, those who despise authority, have no shame, show their sin in public, speak disrespectful of God, pleasure to carouse in the daytime, full of adultery, never stop sinning, forsaking the right path, and greed has become a habit and a source of happiness." As we reflect on these lifestyles, they are in direct disobedience of God's moral teachings and seem to happen daily. It becomes very dark. But in spite of all of this, God's grace and mercy is still present. Verse 9. If so, then, the Lord knows how to rescue the godly from their trials and to reserve the unrighteous for punishment is the day of judgment. But the place reserved for the evildoer and the wicked, unrepentant person may not be what they expected, but God has just the right place. God's rescue operation is on its way. Noah's Ark is an example. Angels taking Lot out of the city is another. Crossing the Red Sea is another. Apostle Paul had many rescues, and we have had some of our own in our own time. But it is somewhat relaxing on a trip to have a place reserved to stay. And we are in the palm of God's hand, and we will be rescued when it is needed. God has his rescue reserved. Be ready, be confident.